Alright, hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to go over how to change the oil on a 2012 Dodge Avenger. But yeah, let's get right into it. Alright guys, just going to go over the tools I use for this real quick. So the drain plug is supposed to be a 1/2 inch, but mine is a little rounded off. I guess you guys don't know that yet, but in case it is a little bit rounded up, you might want to go with the 13 millimeter. So that's what I use for the drain plug. For the oil filter, you need a 24. Most kits or most socket sets don't come with the 24, so make sure you have that. You should be able to rent one from an AutoZone for like $6, and you get that money back when you return it. But make sure you have one of those. I used a 1/2 inch drive ratchet, but you don't have to. Use a knife to get the old O-ring off. You can use pliers or a screwdriver or something, no big deal. And then the hammer is there in case you're having issues with a rounded bolt and you need to just smack on the lower sides real quick to get the bolt off. And the safety glasses are just to make sure you don't get anything in your eyes. And that's it. That's all you should need. Oh, and ramps. I would recommend getting ramps. If you don't use that, then you're going to need a jack and jack stands, but these ramps are great. Alright guys, so this car has a super weird oil filter. Actually, here's the number if you need to go buy this at the store for Mobile One. But so check this out. Like, if you've ever changed your oil before, this is not what a normal filter looks like. It looks like a little air filter or something. It's super strange. But so I guess this is just how it works. And there's also a little rubber O-ring in there too. So I've never done this kind of filter before, but we'll see how it is. So if you come over here, this is actually where the service spot is. And if you look down in there, this little guy right here, I'm pretty sure that's what's inside there. So it's like a reusable casing, I guess, and you just change out the insides. But, alright, I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil. The easiest thing to do is make sure that you take off this top cap over here.
It stopped.
Oh, no, it's still going. But anyways, the easiest thing to do is just take off this cap. It lets more airflow and it'll flow out faster. Also, if you don't know what kind of oil that goes in your car, it says right on the cap. It's 5-weight-30. I always use Mobile One oil. Alright guys, I'm actually just going to show you where the strain plug is, in case you ever need to find it, and I'm just going to kind of like walk you over to where it is. Okay, here we go. Alright, so it's right back here. So if you came in from my angle, it's to the right of the exhaust. I guess I should have figured out what size this was first to tell you what size it is, but that's where it is. I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out and let it drain, and see you in a second. Okay guys, so one more thing real quick. I always put safety glasses on when I go under my car. Not because it's not safe, but because you'll be really annoyed when you get rust or anything in your eye. Or, let me tell you, it's just not fun. Other thing, when you're taking off drain plugs, I'd recommend using a wrench, this end of a wrench, just so you try to prevent rounding off the bolts. On certain Fords, it's really dumb, but they use aluminum drain plugs, and it is super easy to strip them off. So you want to make sure you don't do that, and so, yeah, always go for a wrench. And if you need to get more torque on a wrench, there's actually a trick you can do. Grab another wrench, hook it in just like this, and then you'll get more torque on it. It's kind of dangerous, but it'll get the job done without stripping up the nut. Okay, so I just checked, and the closest size I can get is a 13, but you remember how I just said not to round your bolts? Well, mine's a little bit rounded, so it's probably just a little bit smaller than that size, maybe like a 12 or English standard size. But anyways, 13 is what I'm going to use, and hopefully that'll work. Alright guys, so this is exactly why you don't take your car to a dealership or anywhere to get your oil changed and just do it yourself. Because they'll tighten the crap out of this. I don't know if you guys can tell how much I'm struggling right now. Oh, that's great. So, it just slipped, and I totally just rounded this off. So, this is not going to be an easy oil change at all. I actually think we're actually going to have to go buy some special tools to get off this this nut, because it looks like this one's aluminum also. So, I attempted to use a wrench and make that work, but yeah, we're gonna have to try something else. Alright guys, so before going to buy that special tool, I had one more thing to try. So I went down to 1/2 size wrench, which I think is what it's supposed to be before rounding it off. And I took a hammer and I smacked it on. So I'm hoping that this will get it loosened, but my guess is it probably won't. Oh! Alright, we got lucky. That worked. So, if you ever run into this and the closest size doesn't work, go down like just barely a size. You might have to switch to English or switch to metric. Hammer it on and see if that'll work. I'm either not going to put this on very hard, I'm not going to torque it down too hard, or I'm just going to get a new drain plug, but I'm probably just going to go ahead and get a new drain plug to prevent that. I'm pretty sure this is also an aluminum plug, and I'm not sure why car companies are going to aluminum plugs because it's stupid, but whatever. Also, if you go to the auto store to buy new ones, they usually sell steel ones because they know that these suck. But yeah. Alright, but if you can't get these, they sell these special tools at AutoZone, and it's the same concept. You hammer them on, and as you're loosening it, it actually tightens on the bolt because the way the internal thing is designed, and I've had to use those before. So just keep that in mind. If you're watching this before you do your oil change, you might want to pick up those tools just to be safe, because, you know, it can take a quick job and turn it into a pain in the butt. Alright guys, just to show you, this is what I meant by rounding this off. I mean, I even used a wrench to do this, and this is what happened. I was kind of at a disadvantage because somebody had already rounded it a little bit before I did. I actually didn't make it much worse, but so I couldn't use the proper size without a hammer. Luckily with the hammer it came off, but that's not what you want to see. If you see this, you want to change it out. So I guess one more thing, what I'm going to do, they make these easy drain plugs. They're really cool. You torque them down just like a normal bolt, but then you don't need any tools to drain your oil. It's literally like a quick, like you pull it up and pull it over and it will drain, and then you slide it back over. And you don't have to worry about it opening up or anything. It's got a spring, a nice spring to keep it in place, but it makes the oil changes a lot faster. And if you're gonna keep the car for a while, I would just go ahead and do it. If I was smart, I would have just bought one, but I kind of did this oil change last second because I put it off just like everybody in America does. But anyways, yeah, look them up, easy drain plugs. You should think about getting one. Alright guys, so we're going to attempt to get this oil filter off on the top. I just checked it, and it's a 24mm socket. Get a rusty one that worked better. But anyways, this is not a standard size in your typical socket set, and mine just happens to be like a deep socket, an impact socket. But you're going to want to make sure you have this before you do it. Never mind, that doesn't matter. It'd also be nice to have an extension, but I don't have an extension, so I'm going to make it work here. I'm hoping I don't have to use a breaker bar for this, but... Oh. I hope you got that one, Phil.
I did.
Things like this should not be torqued down that hard. They shouldn't be. Like, it's just an oil filter. This is why I hate taking it anywhere to get it done. It's just ridiculous. Same thing for the drain plug. The whole reason that drain plug got stuck on and I rounded it is because they impacted it on, and it's ridiculous. So I would recommend always change your oil yourself. It's cheaper. It really is cheaper to just get it done at a shop, and I understand that, and it's more convenient, but I hate when people touch my car and mess things up like this if you ever want to do it yourself. Okay, so this is what this looked like. This is interesting. I've never seen anything like this before, but it is what it is. Here, come look over here. This is what the other side of it looks like. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's a big spring-looking thing in there, and weird. So I think the whole concept behind this is just to make it more, well, I wouldn't say more convenient, but cheaper on materials. Because you'd have to think that this is a lot easier to make and should be cheaper, but it's not. This oil filter cost me $16. Okay, so it just kind of snaps in place. You can see these little clips in there, so that's how it pops in. You just have to pull it out real hard, and that's all there is for that. So what I like to do is take this crappy filter and just put it right back into that box. My other trick, I don't know if anybody else does this or not, sometimes I'll keep the box and then I'll write my current mileage on the box, so that next time you go to change your oil, you know exactly when the mileage you change it at, and you have the filter name. So I'm probably just going to write it down and take a picture of it for next time. Just makes it so much easier. It's so easy to forget your mileage if you do it yourself. Alright, so new one going in. We got those little clip things. Should be able to just shove this in here. Hear that snap? That's all it is. And then just come back in here and thread it in. So honestly, this style is not that bad, and it's convenient to do from the top. And I would say that I like it. Also, totally forgot to put that O-ring in there. But this black O-ring needs to come off, and it looks like it's going to be a pain. BRB gonna grab the pliers. Alright, we're just gonna use a knife because that's what I have. Close. And honestly, I'm just gonna cut it. Or not. I thought it was gonna be easier to cut it, but apparently it wasn't. Okay, so that's off. Don't need that anymore. Sorry for getting your garage floor all oily, Dad. And then probably slide the new one on from the bottom. Boom. There we go. Now we're ready to go back in. When you're putting on other filters, usually you want to get that O-ring that's on there a little bit oily. We automatically did that in the process of putting it on, but just an extra little tip there. And then we're going to take our same socket and torque it back down. You want it to be tight, but it doesn't have to be ridiculous. Like that was ridiculous, what was taking it off. About like that. You don't need to put your whole body weight into it. And that's all that is. So then we're done on the top here. The one nice thing about this setup is it didn't make a big mess. You guys have done oil filters before, other styles. It's easy for it to just make a ginormous mess. Wow, this is the hardest part about all this. There we go. Perfect. That part's done. The oil should be done draining. Oh, this is a really helpful tip. Your cap, if you put your cap like right here, wow. Take two. Just kidding, keep recording. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So you're not advised to put the cap right there on this model.
Okay, guys. The whole point is you put the cap where the hood latch is so that you can't close your hood while it's there, and that way you don't forget to put it on. That's the whole idea, and it's really useful. Why they make a hole like that right there, I don't know. Because now, it's literally stuck in my bumper somewhere. Like, it did not pop out the other side. Oh, I got it. Alright, come down here and see if you can see this. Here, shove the camera like under here. So this is how I have my arm oriented right now to get it. Oh, I don't know if I can get my... Oh. There it is, guys. So we're not going to do that again. I'm going to put it on this side right here. Boom. Now the hood can't close. That was annoying. Make sure you don't do that. This is a what not to do when you're changing your oil video. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and go back down there and put my bolt back on. I'm just going to use the same one, but I'm not going to over tighten it so that next time it's easy. I'm hoping it goes on with a 1/2 inch, but I might have to use a 13 mil to get it back on. And don't forget your safety glasses. Alright guys, the bottom drain bolt is back in, so we're going to go ahead and fill this up. This is the V6 model, and I looked it up, and it's supposed to take 5.92 quarts, which when you drain the oil, you're not going to get all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 5 quarts and then check it from there. when you get close, I like to take my car off of the ramps to get a more accurate reading. I like it to be level when I read it. So what I'm gonna do, fill it up to there, start the car, take it off the ramps, and then we'll top it off from there. That's the game plan. Alright, so we're off the stands now on level ground. So gonna go ahead and pull this back off and not drop it in the front bumper again. Set my crappy funnel there. Alright, the dipstick is right here in front. It's got the big yellow thing on it. You always want to wipe it off first. I don't know why I'm trying to do this left-handed. So wipe it off first. Stick it back in there. Okay, so you probably can't see this, but I'm not anywhere close to getting to the safe mark yet. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more oil in there. But that's the whole idea. You just want to be in between these two ranges, and then that's how you know you're good. Alright, so when you're happy with where everything is on the fill, just go ahead and plug your cap back up. And put your hood down. And you're done. There it is. Alright guys, if you found this video informative, or you learned anything from this, go ahead and leave me a like. I appreciate that. Thanks again. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.